It's still an African-themed Christmas, and because it's Thursday, we like to talk about family, relationships, and the whole works. And today, I saw a message on social media that caught our attention. So, Nigerian clergywoman, prophetess Patience Obi, asked women to endeavor to submit whatever money they make to their spouses before spending out of it. According to her, the husband is the head of the home and should be the one to give directions on how the wife's money should be spent. Now, some are saying she said this because she wanted to trend. Others are saying, oh, it's true. Others are saying, how can she say that? What are your thoughts on this? Because we like to be real in our conversations. As bizarre as it might sound to some people, it's their reality, and it works for them perfectly. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this? You can call us on 081-270-53687, 091-390-7694. You can also send us messages on YouTube and Facebook. We'll be happy to read your thoughts. Now, as I said, we already know that every man from what works for you. But it's always nice to review various scenarios and see how beneficial it is to every home. So let me start with BC. What are your thoughts on this woman's?
When it comes to marriages, I don't like making blanket statements, general statements, because, like you just said, we all have our different styles. Everybody would adopt what would work for them. You could have started out with something and it's not working, and you decide to change along the line, which is okay. There is no rule that says this is how it should be. What I promote in marriage is respect of your spouse. As a woman, you respect your husband. He's your husband. He's meant to be the head, which is, we all agree on that on this table. He's meant to be the head, so you give him that respect. Now, that respect would be defined by him. So if part of that respect is that everything that you have, he owns it, he commands it, he uses it anyhow he likes, and you feel you can, trust him enough to give him that sort of respect, go ahead to do that. But if he demands that respect and he's not responsible enough to handle it properly. So why I'm saying this is because I've seen some people who feel, okay, it's okay for me to earn a salary and everything. You now share to me how we use it. It's fine. It works for some people. But if you now are married to somebody who does not have head, and he takes that money, and instead of using that money to benefit the home, he spends it and lavishes it outside for other people on irrelevant things, you as a woman will now have to start rethinking that respect. You either have to redefine how you respect him going forward, or you have a conversation with him, or you protect yourself. So if it works for you, that's fine. But I wouldn't tell every young girl out there, once you collect your salary, pack it and give it to your husband.
So there's some people that see it as a sign of submission. There are some women that, it's for them, it makes them happy that, okay, I have this man who is my king, and I've earned the salary, and I submit everything to him. Now, they have responsible husbands who say, okay, you've given this to me because you have honored me with your salary. Okay, take this amount, and I'll use it, So they feel that's their own way of interpreting love, and it's perfectly fine. So the question, therefore, is, can people who are struggling in this situation adopt these kind of systems where, you see, just submit. Anything you have, just give it to this person. Because if you have, remember we discussed ego recently. If you have one of those husbands that their egos they're here, everything.
Like elephant.
Maybe it is in your interest and the interest of your peace of mind. Everything you have, just submit to him. Maybe when you do that, you have peace of mind. YK, do you agree?
I mean, the wrongest person to
Okay, let me go to YK first. Let me go to Nima first. I'll come back to you. Nima, your thoughts on this?
Okay, so let me just put out the disclaimer that in my own faith, it's called Amuna Allah Nisai, so my husband is my provider. And his duty is to provide, protect, and make sure that I'm comfortable. That's aside. But when women come out like this and, sort of establish patriarchy loosely, without taking into cognizance the years and years of maltreatment that their mothers or women before them have had to go through when you put out a blanket statement like this. And the abuses that patriarchy, the way they would jump on this and further abuse women, it breaks my heart. In fact, when I saw the video, I watched it again, and just to be sure that it was a woman talking. And I wonder, if you see 2-3 women who successfully submit their earnings to their husband and it works for them, You will see 1,000 who have been abused, bandaged, and all of that.
Yeah.
I was barely 9. When I would see my neighbor's mother struggle every day to earn money, she would tie it here. The husband will come, take that money, and have a bar with his friends. And all our concern is, how will my children feed? Should that woman want to submit earnings for one man? You know, you should be careful and look deeply into how women struggle. On my pages alone, every day report of women saying, I've tried, I'm struggling to keep, I'm doing everything on my own. I'm here, I'm drowning under all of this. And what the man is saying is that you have not been a good wife. The woman is worried, okay, I've given you 2 years of being a good wife. I have children to feed. And you come out, you make a blanket statement like this that can fly. Men can take it and say, see your mates.
Yes, now.
So men will send something and say, see, you're supposed to be the example of woman, you know, for their wives, because they want to cheat their wives.
Okay, so let me get you.
So we should be careful.
So what you're saying, as much as this might work for lots of women and fine,
there are millions
but
more.
there are million other women that it's not
working
working for them, and such that they are being suppressed by their spouses
marriages.
because of this.
And abused.
Abused
mentally, maybe not even physically, but mentally. Well, I will just say that, look, if it works for you, carry go. If it doesn't work for you, I believe that a marriage is a joint, even if the man is the head, it's still a joint partnership. And is the man giving me his own money? Yeah, I know he's providing for me, but is he going to be giving me his own money, or he will take his own money and my own money, join everything and become his own? So if we're having a joint account that I can take from and you can take from, but we agree on how we spend it, you know, that way there will, because money is the root of all evil. So we have to keep that in mind when you are saying, oh, take everything and give it to somebody. What if you give it to... There's this woman I know who, her husband kicked her out of the house, and he kicked her out of the house in winter.
In the cold.
With only the clothes she had on her back. Nothing that she had earned in that marriage.
It's in her name, nothing.
Was she even able to take out? Not chair, not clothes, nothing.
That's what happens.
Now, if that woman, well, she probably submitted all her money to him as well. She left the house. She was now sleeping in a McDonald's shop and...
homeless.
She was homeless. So when we are, like Nima says, when you are making that kind of blankets...
You're forgetting that there are women out there that are suffering
The reality of that statement for some women is poison, and that they drink every day. Recently, a friend of mine left her marriage. She didn't voluntarily, she was kicked out. She fought to stay. We had to say, leave before they kill you overnight. And, you know, she left penniless. This is a duplex, wealthy woman to nothing. And the man is happy. Not even her children can she see freely. And you say, this person has given that person 14 years of her life. Built businesses with him to billions, and she's not even dignity did he leave her with.
Wow. Okay, so I get those extreme cases that happens. I mean, that's reality. But for my own example, when we just recently got married, you know, at the time, in the beginning, my husband wasn't working at the time, and when I did earn my salary, we had a joint account. I mean, we opened a joint account to go after marriage. So what I did was that the money I earned, I took the one for the upkeep from that money, and most of it, I jumped it into the joint account, which he had total access to. And because he's a responsible person, he's uncomfortable spending that money. You know, he wouldn't even touch it. And I would tell him, do you have the card? Go ahead. Because he didn't earn it, he just wouldn't want to touch it. But he had full access. So it was almost like me handing over everything I've earned. I mean, after taking out the house money, and I removed my tithe, everything else, I put it in that, and I said, Oga, you're the father, you're the head of the house. You decide how we spend the bulk of the savings. So in that situation, I can understand what the prophetess is saying, if it works for you. But what Nima has said is extremely valid, that there are lots of people that are doing the same thing right now, and it's not working for them.
Yeah, that's why in marriages, you do not make a general statement.
Yes.
You do not make a blanket statement.
Like
we
it's
have
careless to do that.
Like
yes,
she
it's
has
careless
done.
to do that.
Yes, it's careless.
We have different realities. Even at the time that I was coaching married people, I don't give them another person's templates to use for you. We have to work out what will work for you in that particular marriage. My situation is similar to yours.
Yeah.
We agreed that we're going to pull all the resources together. And why did I agree? Because I was married to somebody who had head. I knew that he was responsible.
Yeah.
I knew that I would not lose out. I could trust him that he will handle it. So today, I do not have anything that is my kids don't even know. They don't say, you will never hear daddy's car, mommy's car. Is the big car or the small car? Yes, nobody has anything because it has worked for us. Right. And how did he also make me trust him? He has entrusted most of the things to me personally. So I have that trust that last, I'll be all right. But there are some people who do not have that reality, who are struggling to even get the man to think and have a vision for the home. There are a lot of men, I'm sorry to say, that do not have a vision for their home. They don't know where they are going. They have no plans. All they want to do is eat today, die tomorrow, carry woman today, die tomorrow. That's all they plan. But if you are married to a man like that, who doesn't have a vision, it would be unfair to tell me to carry on my money and give to you.
Okay, so let's go on a break. When we come back, how do we therefore talk to our sisters who are watching, who have a man in that regard? Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still discussing this issue of giving all that you have to your spouse in the name of trust. Now, Nima has brought out an important part of it, where he's saying that there are millions of women that have done that in the past and it didn't work for them. Where they have irresponsible spouses and every resource they had was squandered. But in some cases, the men were responsible. But our conversation, therefore, is in a situation where we have irresponsible spouses or husbands, and where the woman drops everything. What as women in this same business, what advice can we give somebody in that space?
The definition, not just irresponsible men, an entitled man and an entitled society. So you find women in marriages where they are actually the breadwinner, but, you know, family will come and say, your phone, auntie, don't let it be more expensive than your husband. You're not submitting. Your car, in fact, you trek while your husband is driving car. That's respect. You're driving your car halfway out the door. You have a family member of your in-laws, for instance, tell you, can I have the keys? I want to quickly go somewhere. And you're about to go out. This is what you have worked hard for. You now have to fight to say, so what will I? And they will say, you should be modest. When you want to fight that kind of fight, you're a woman, have shame. When you want to say that kind of thing next time, you will wait. You will first of all let them go first. You will first of all let them go, then later you will say. So these are some of the realities that when we have a platform of influence like she has, you'll be projecting things that, you know, you are projecting solutions, workable suggestions that can be practical in people's lives. You don't just throw out blanket statements like that.
The question I have for the prophetess, there are many, many, many women who have submitted and who everything they own goes to the husband. And when the men die,
family member,
the family will just come,
You have opened another
carry you and your children and dump you out.
You spend 10 years in court.
Because the house is the man. And then a lot of the men don't even put the house in both your names. The house will be in the man's name. It's my son's home. Look, I know a woman who, she did everything in the house. Everything. She bought the car, she rented the house, she bought the furniture, everything. When the man died, the family took everything. The only thing she managed to save is because she went to go and hide it was the car.
Wow. Wow, that's painful.
What's a cat compared to property?
So let me take this call.
Okay, all right.
Good morning. Are you there? Thanks for calling. Ayodele. Good morning, Ayodele. Are you there?
I'm there.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah. with you guys. Good morning to you all.
Listen to me, not the TV, please.
I just want to contribute and portray what the other sister and Blue Cap said. It doesn't make... Ma? Hello?
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
We're hearing. I need you to listen to me, not the TV. Please go ahead.
Okay. Hello? Okay. It doesn't make any sense putting... Okay, it doesn't make any sense putting someone's money, another woman's money, into the husband's...
Okay, we lost that call.
Yes. So I wanted to say that aside from a man not being responsible enough to handle that sort of trust that a woman gives to you by giving you everything, we still have men who are in polygamy, who are married to more than one. Yes. So are you going to be advising such women to all of you as you earn your salary or your business profit, just carry everything and give to the man, then he now shares, and you're not getting according to how hard you have worked? You know that in that kind of setting, there will be some that are lazy, who are not really, they just rely on the man providing for them. There are some that are go-getters who are doing business and working and making more. So when we all submit the money, let's say 4 of us now are married to one man, we all submit the money to him. He now shares equally or what? So that advice is not really for everybody. But there's something I noticed. You are married to someone who you have been designed to be married to, according to God's plan. Nobody marries by mistake. And sometimes you are married as a woman into a home to help the man reach his destiny, depending on what that trajectory is. You could have been there at that time to help him get to his destiny. In that case, you are the one working, first of all. God is blessing you more. You are helping him get to his own. He will get his own. So there's a time process for that. And you are the one spending everything. You're spending in the house. You're giving him the money. You are paying the fees and everything. He doesn't have kokon, and you're still there. And after a time, he gets it, and you people now start, living the way you're supposed to be. That's a different scenario. We have people who it has worked for. There are other times where you are married to this particular man. The plan is 2 of you are going to be working. 2 of you have your destinies apart, but you're going to be working together. So you are working, I'm working, we're pulling resources together, and we're helping ourselves. So in that situation, you can have conversation as partners. You asked us, how do we now advise people who are in this position? You can have conversation as partners. While I understand that you want me to give you everything, I would like to hold some things back for myself. I'd like to be able to buy my undies without asking you for 15 naira. I'd like to be able to eat amala without asking you for 5 naira. I want to have my own and have that understanding. And if unfortunately I'm married to somebody whose ego is bigger than this cap that I'm wearing, who will not listen to you, you can call elders to help you settle the fight in this matter. That as a woman, you must have, the eyebrows they gave to us when we're getting into marriage. You must be independent. You must have something of your own. And why did women give us that sort of advice? Because of the experiences they have gone through when things went the other way.
Let me take this call from Jigawa State. Good morning, are you there? Chikeze, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I want to contribute on your topic this morning.
Please do. Go ahead.
The statement the woman made, actually, she should not generalize it. And for making that statement, there are people in her congregation whom she has put into some crisis or whom she has jeopardized by that statement. Men who do not want who have not been collecting from their women now, because of that statement, will be asking their women to start submitting everything to them. And that statement is very dangerous. Now, one of my HODs there says once he collects his salary, what he does is give it to the wife, and then she herself handles the money. So it's a two-way thing. If the men are requesting that the women should submit to them, they too should learn to submit to their wives as well by giving them what they earn. The man said even his transportation that the wife gives to him, if he's going to school, if he's going to lecture, the wife gives him his transportation from what he has earned. This is what he has earned, not what the wife has earned. So it's a two-way thing. If she's saying that the men should be given to their wives, the women should be given to their husbands, the men also should be that submissive.
Right. Thank you very much, Chideje. I would like to see if there's a research on women who actually handle the finances of their home. And we'll see how that home is being run compared to when the man totally takes control. Because it seems like women, I've been to conferences where a lot of top CEOs say they prefer women in their top executives because the women are more loyal, they're more organized.
More prudent.
In fact, that the men are always thinking of, okay, how do I do this business better than my Oga? How do I have a different company that can compete? I can compete with this company. But the women, they don't think that. They're thinking they're loyal, they're committed, and they've managed resources very prudently and decently. So it's always interesting to have this kind of data. But going back to our conversation.
You should carry out the research. I'm here. I'm a living example. I manage the finances.
All the finances in the home.
So YK, my own model is he brings the money. He hands it over to me. I draw up the plan. This is what we're doing this period. This is how we're spending this. This is this. I run it single-handedly. He doesn't even ask. And he doesn't bother me. He doesn't. He just hands it over and I run it. And this has happened over the years. We had to. Initially, we're having issues at the beginning on how to handle it. So we had, had to talk to each other, had to find out the ways that work. The first plan was he handles it. But I just realized that I don't have any money. Somebody would just ask me, give me 5 naira. I don't have. I'm going to have to take permission. And I told him, no, it doesn't work that way. No, I'm not used to this. I need to be the one to handle it. And he said, okay. And so we plan it, and that's it. This one is for investment. This one is for saving. This one is for eating. We run everything.
Thank you for opening this, because I'd like to actually hear from our viewers how they handle the finances, because it's a good topic to talk about, finances in marriages. I'd like people to call in and share with us their own system, what works for you, and how you've been doing it. Let's go on a quick break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're discussing initially how Prophetess Patience Obi was talking about women submitting all their resources to their spouses. However, now this conversation has dovetailed into finances in the home. How do we manage finances the best way? The different systems that work. This he just told us the system that works for her. There are other systems where everybody handles your own account. Everybody does what you got to do. And when there's a major project, we all then come together. It's okay, there's a project we're working on. This is what you do. But the different systems. Let me see if we have any messages from our...
Debbie Beatrice says, so she's saying that marriages that are as complicated as my mom's should submit to. My dad has been in different locations with my stepsister, and there's been conflict in my home. As complicated as things are, does she still send the little she has to a man who barely knows his children's age, a man who has mentally and emotionally abused this woman, a man who barely speaks to his wife in 2 weeks, or a man who barely sends 20,000 to his wife in a whole year? Generalizing things like this is what is killing Nigeria.
Andrew in StarTimes says it's confusing. The man, yes, is supposed to be the head, and the woman the neck. The neck is a transitory organ. There is no head if there is no neck, and no neck can survive properly without a head. Corey Williams says, I agree with you that now waiting with a talk. If woman observe the man, we say not to get sense. She to go change pattern.
Bilkis says, if we look through the holy books, we'll get better guidance. We shouldn't subject his message to human interpretations because they twist words to suit their motive. That's the problem. Lotus Sunflower says, so many confusing advice given to couples. Some say submit everything, and others say it's not everything you tell your husband. May God help us make the right decision.
I'm telling you. Let me take this call from Solomon. Solomon, are you there? Hello, Solomon.
Yes, I'm here.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I would like to ask you a question. Prophetess is very right for saying that women should at least submit what they are earning to their husband. It's not left for the husband to build a strong home and make it fit to his family that yes, the family is run between him and his wife. So that tomorrow, if life should, anything that will happen, the wife will. So Prophetess is very right in saying that women should submit what they have to their husband. Yes.
Yeah. It was muffled for me. I couldn't hear you, but you didn't. Maybe our viewers heard him. I didn't hear him very well.
He concluded with that it's wrong to say, what she has said. But Don Grace says that was archaic thinking when patriarchy was heavily practiced. Nigeria has evolved beyond that mentality now. Why should she submit the money to her husband. It's her husband, the agent, that got the job for her.
So let us now talk.
Women should be allowed to enjoy their own money as much as men enjoy theirs. That's the point for me.
Okay.
So how a man spends his money is not of question. But how a woman spends her money is a questionable matter in our own society. And it is wrong.
I just wanted to say, you know, some men are more business conscious than women. Some women is only bag and hair and shoe. They want to. So in that case, the man maybe should control the finances. In the case where the man is beer parlor, he sits down for money tonight. Please let the woman
handle the finances.
And in like my daughter's case, where they both have good jobs, she takes a part of her money, she spends it. He takes a part of his own money, he spends it. Then the bulk of their money, they put it together in a joint account. And before they touch it,
they have to take permission.
They'll take permission from each other. Oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. So they've used it for major expenses like their house. Their house, instead of being 1 story, is now 2 stories. You know, that kind of thing. So, you know.
Major projects, Let me take this call from Godwin. Godwin, are you there?
Yes,
hello?
I am.
Yes, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Oh, okay. Thank you. My name is Godwin. I'm the first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Okay, I just want to contribute to this topic about handing money over to your husband. Yeah, I think that the couple really need to sit down to have a conversation, because, I mean, if you are expected to trust yourself in every other thing that you do together, you have a common vision for your family. You've given each other your body, your mind, your everything to each other. Then you should be able to talk about money. Yeah. I don't believe in the concept of handing over all your money to your husband. But if that works for you, like some people have said, fine. But there has to be a conversation around that. Yeah. And you have to understand the personality of the man. There are so many women that is in charge of the money, and there are so many homes where it's the man that is in charge of the money. And there are homes where everybody has their own money. Like, they will always, sometimes they don't even have to have an account or a joint project account, but they just decide what each person will take care of. One person.
Thank you very much, Godwin. I think so. I mean, in my own home, for example, as I said, the first 4 years of our marriage, I mean, it was a single salary home, and everything was going together. But the moment my husband started his business after the 4th year of our marriage, and the business started bringing in some money, immediately he took over the major projects of school fees and rent. He took 100%. Said, don't even touch it. Then he continued that, and then I knew that. So I knew that he was handling some really key things. Then all the household things, everybody have their own responsibilities. I know the home, and what does I do? And cable TV. Cable TV every month, and the food we eat, that's the only thing. To every other thing, from diesel to fueling to rent, and handles it. And everybody has agreed on their responsibilities, and that is it. Yeah. So I think, as I said, let's have the conversation and know the right finances. But I would like to also move this conversation to our next segment, the next topic, which is about people therefore marrying based on the financial stability of his spouse. So a lot of men today are looking for wealthy girls. I mean, I know a young man. Yes, I know a young man who recently broke up with his girlfriend because she lost her high-paying job, and she hasn't been able to get a new job in over like 6 months. He was just a hustling. I mean, I can't remember what he does exactly, but he has a job that he does. The money doesn't really come in very flow. You know, one of those hustling guys trying to get his act together. So he felt that this girl was a secure babe. At least she had a very high pay. She was working in one big company, and she was earning quite a bit of money. When she then lost her job, and over 6 months, she didn't have anything, and it doesn't look like she wanted to go back to corporate Nigeria. Wow. She's trying to start her own business, which she felt like, auntie, we'll suffer together. He packed up and said he was done.
The guy left.
He left. Yeah. That is happening, where young men are now looking for wealthier women. What do we do with this trend?
It's scary. Like, I've seen a number of young men tell me that one of the reasons they are not marrying that baby again is because the babe does not have any means of livelihood, or the baby is struggling. that they don't want to go through the stress of having to be the only person providing for the home. And it's quite scary because growing up, we had this notion that the man is the provider. I'm there to help. Now we're getting to a part where it's now like, the babe has to be the provider. Me, I'm here to chop, or I'm here to assist with the little. So for me, it's like roles are we're swapping roles anymore. We don't even know. We're now getting so fluid. We don't even know what we should take as our culture as Nigerians. If you're saying, I want somebody who is not going to be a liability, somebody who has a job, do you have a job as a man? Are you okay? Are you equipped? Can you take care of yourself? Can you handle yourself? Or are you just sitting down and waiting for that rich babe who probably has a job in one big company to submit to you? So she works, she brings everything, you just sit down and be looking at small side chicks up and down. So it's scary. I've seen in fact, there was a girl who told me recently that they broke up. She broke up with her fiancé. The guy actually ran away because she didn't have anything she was doing. And they are saying, even on social, it was on social media, that a lot of women did not get married this period because of their account balance. So it's an epidemic that is happening. What I would advise is, as you're coming to the table, what are you coming with? You, the man, bring something. You, the woman, I don't subscribe to being lazy and not doing any form of work as a woman. Bring something to the table. We meet halfway, 50-50. Shebi want to do Oyibo style. We don't like control anymore. You bring 50, I bring 50. Those of us that still like our submission, let's sit and eat our husband's money.
Mikey, what are your thoughts on this new trend of men looking for wheels?
Men looking for women with money, women looking for men with money. It works both ways. Wow. Everybody is doing it. This one will not look after me. This one cannot. So there's no place for love anymore. But I guess they say love is blind and marriage is an eye opener. Yeah. So I'm not even sure which.
Yeah, you're right. There's no place for love like it used to be. It's not about financial stability. Let me take this call, then we'll wrap up on this. Good morning. Are you there?
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Lady.
You're live.
Good morning.
Richard.
All right, thank you very much. Very quickly, you see, regarding this topic, there's no one-size-fits-all for marriages. That is one. Two, everyone should find what works for them. Number three, I don't understand where this idea regarding women submitting their earnings to their husbands. We should start, I don't know where that mentality came from. Why not us flip it? Men also should start submitting to their wives and let them run the home. So if you understand each other, find out whatever works for you and use it. Then, finally, right, I think for me, my wife knows my salary. She knows even all my side hustles. She knows what is coming in. She has my ATM pin. I don't have pin code for my phone. She has access to everything, right? But if I have to use her ATM, I have to ask her sometimes to remind me what it is. Because for me, I feel I am responsible for what comes in. And her own money is her own money. But if we have to do a joint project together, there has to be a conversation on, okay, who is contributing what? So the issue of you submitting one person submitting money to the other, whole everything shouldn't even be the conversation at all. There shouldn't even be talk about it.
Thank you very much, Richard. It's actually
let us contribute equally. Thank you
very much, Richard. I think it's actually interesting to hear. A lot of men have been calling us, and all the men so far, Solomon, Chikeze, Godwin, and now Richard, have all said the same thing. So it's obvious that there are lots of modern thinking men today who don't think the way the prophetess is thinking. I mean, that's really refreshing to know.
How is the prophetess?
I don't know, but I'm happy that lots of men truly agree.
Because the small Bible that I know, this person is saying, Ajibade Mayowa, it says, read Ephesians 5, verse 22 to 25. Husband is the head of the family, so wife must submit to the head of the family. This verse did not clarify financial submission. Because there's people who mistake what submission is. To commit to living with someone to commit to taking that person as part of you is submission for me.
Let me add.
And then there's a Bible quotation that says, husband, love yourself as
your wife
as
Christ loved the church. Let me even add to that your submission.
It's not to encourage that you both of you
No, but if I
together
choose to interpret that submission to be financial, I can choose that.
Okay.
That's my own choice.
Yes.
That's okay.
No, what when you quote it blanketly and say it is financial, it is talking about. What are other things? Is that the only thing they submit to?
Even for submission was the other one.
I don't understand. Yes,
no, that's the only interpretation.
That's what I thought.
I thought that was
that's what I understand.
No, there are different ways to submit. So submission should be however you interpret or how the Holy Spirit ministered it to you.
It's okay.
If your mind,
it's your mind. Okay.
It's based on how you and God are talking. And God says, submit all your salary. Because there are some marriages that have testified that when they earned it and they submitted everything to their spouse, the Lord multiplied it and blessed them. So there are different testimonies.
Yes, so
be unto you according to your faith.
Yes, so you cannot also submit without understanding the love language of the man. So we are different and we have different love languages. When you understand that love language, the way you submit to your husband is different from the way I submit to my husband. If we come to if we come together and we see how we relate to our husband, some people will say, why are you talking to him like that? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Because you don't understand. Your love languages are different. You need to understand that and then define your submission according to what works for him. I listened to this late pastor, Miles Monroe, and he was saying that a man interprets respect as love. And that respect is based on how he chooses to define it. So you understand your husband, know what works. If it's money that he wants you to submit to, it's different. It doesn't mean my own wants me to submit money.
God bless you.
So don't make it general.
Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're not negating submitting money.
No, not at all.
You can submit your money. It complies with the Bible. Yeah. You can submit. You can come. If you interpret it as that. Because I've seen a husband, a wife sit on the floor, talk to her husband like a lord. And it's fine. She chooses to submit to him by serving him. I don't even know who it was. But I saw on social media where the man sat down like a king. The woman sat on the floor talking to him with her head bowed. And she's being loved. And she loves the love that she's getting from that submission. So you choose the submission that works for you.
Back to the young men looking for girls with finances to marry. And same, because I was going to say it before I came.
Let me pause you for a second. Fatima's been holding for a while. Come back to you. Fatima, are you there? Fatima?
Yes.
You're live.
Yes, I'm here.
Go ahead, please, from Kaduna. Go ahead, Fatima. You're live.
All right. I actually want to say this. The expectation one brings into marriage will either spell its doom or success.
Oh, I can't hear you very well. Go ahead.
I said I want to start by saying this.
Yes.
Hello, are you with me?
Very clearly. Please go ahead.
Yes, I said the expectation one brings into marriage will either spell its doom or its success.
Okay, expectation.
Exactly.
Good.
Is that
Thank you, Fatima.
So your expectations. So manage your expectations depending on the culture where you are coming from. So if you are from a certain culture where you are very, very assertive, confident, and you marry a man who's from a place where he is Lord and master in his own circle, understand the culture and your expectation and manage. You can manage the expectation.
You can still want better. It doesn't mean that you should manage and kill yourself. No. You can still. See, the world is evolving, and the most important thing for us now is love. When I hear this submission, we don't hear people emphasizing husbands love your wife.
Let me give you an example.
Husband love your wife. We don't hear that. We hear more of submission because it's a patriarchal society. So if you are in a position where you are beginning to feel, it comes with your awareness. Okay. That this is no longer.
I'm confused.
They are now.
I'm asking a question.
Wait, hold on.
You're married to a king. You respond to me.
Okay.
You're married to a king. You're coming from a culture where your siblings are together, you talk to your daddy, you guys are real and free. And then you're married to a king in the palace. You're going to be taught certain ethics. There's a way you talk to the king. So you are accepting and managing your expectations. That this is not my father, this is a different man. The same principle was saying that even though you're marrying a regular man, understand where he's coming from. And when you're going in there, manage the expectations. Don't go, if they allow their Lord, guess what? You're entering as a submissive the subservient wife.
Okay, so
enter and accept your role.
We have seen queens too who made an exception, who said this is how it should be, and they challenged the king, and it worked for them.
So
Esther in the Bible. I was there now. Esther in the Bible was there.
Why you go marry him?
No, I'm not saying challenge. No, let's get it. I'm not saying challenge. But if you get to a point where you feel this one, I feel maltreated. It's okay to speak out. It's okay to have audience. It's okay to say, baby, can we change these things? I'm not feeling okay. Don't allow yourself to just be in that box.
This
That's
movie,
what I'm saying.
Crazy Rich Asians?
Yes, I've watched it, yes.
Now, one of the problems that woman had with the girl, for those of you who haven't watched it, go check it out on Netflix, is that she had an American culture where they have this assertiveness. And the issue with that is that we have this our culture, we preserve the way we are. So you coming in with this culture is totally foreign to us. This is who we are. So the question therefore is that if submission is part of what is expected of you in a certain way, understand it. Don't be rebellious. If you don't want it, don't enter that marriage. There are different kinds of husbands and homes. Remember, you're not marrying one person, you're marrying family.
I'm tired now. Define submission.
So, but yeah, Pastor,
let's find dictionary. Let me use dictionary this time around. We know what the past.
Okay. Define submission.
I thought that submission was inside the other room. I told you now. If your husband, you'll be saying no. You won't submit to me.
No, that's not what.
Then I'll go and marry another wife.
Nima, what's submission? That's your own understanding.
That's your own action of accepting or yielding to a superior force or to the will or authority of another person, authority of your husband. They said superior force. So you accept and you yield.
So, excuse me.
So you yield.
You yield.
Okay, that's a good one.
That word, I have a problem with that word.
Superior.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you have automatically assumed
but you ask for definition.
No, because
you ask for definition. You ask for definition.
No, I said because when you say submit like that, and we go by the dictionary.
Yes. In English language, submission.
When we go by the dictionary definition of submission, you have already automatically assumed that you are inferior.
Yes, but even in biblical days, women were inferior.
Let's be real. It's not
we're trying to change things. We know that already. That's why you call your husband Lord. But they forgot to tell us or emphasize that husbands love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself. They don't tell us that part. They don't shout that part. They don't shout it.
Yeah, so if we want to be real and truthful to ourselves,
follow your Bible.
Submission in its real essence
means you are inferior.
Accepting that in this union, you are inferior.
Accepting your position.
Okay, so if inferior is too strong a word. Inferior, I agree. It's too strong a word.
But it's the opposite of superior.
So maybe the dictionary. Are we saying that? Are we collectively agreeing that we're not accepting with the dictionary definition?
Oxford.
We're not accepting this definition because they have said that.
So just take my own understanding of submission is the other room, and then now let us look for another word.
So they've said yielding. So we rather yield to a different. I'll yield to a superior argument, or yield to
an authority.
We look for the meaning of.
You see, we are trying to change the Bible. You are trying to twist the Bible. What to make us submit? This is it, and the submission is in every way.
Okay, so the person who wrote this particular part of the Bible is an apostle. I remember that when Jesus was, Apostle Paul. I remember that when Jesus was here, he respected women. Jesus was always around, trying to help. You see the story of Mary Magdalene, Mary, they were always with him. When they came to the woman who had committed adultery. No, I'm just telling you. When they came to the woman who committed adultery, Jesus said, he who has no sin, and all of that. He was not with that culture. Jesus was different from that culture. That's what I'm trying to say.
We're going to wrap up on this matter.
Treat your wives beautifully and have a lovely marriage.
But if you want to go with that submit, has been quiet since.
Jesus did not say submit before.
Please go ahead.
It seemed like I was struggling to talk.
Okay, all right. We have a caller, then we'll wrap up. Good morning, are you there?
Yes,
hello, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Okay, as we are talking about submission, the word submission is not a big deal.
Okay.
Except one is married to a demon. Every woman in every aspect will submit to whosoever loves her. at least 90 to 95%. So when the man of the house do not bring the ladies into a secure environment, and at the same moment, the same man is claiming that the woman should submit, it's not going to be possible because they will be rebellious. But when a woman is loved, submission does not mean sit down there, do this. Submission means the woman has already submitted herself to be your wife and change everything about herself, especially with the name or the surname. I think that is submission.
Thank you so much. Let me come to Nima. Nima, I want to ask you this question because if we go by what the dictionary is saying, that submission is submitting to your superior. If we want to accept superior, can we therefore say that in reality, the spouse or the male figure is superior to the woman in marriage? Is that what, I know you're not the Bible person, but is that what, that's the dictionary. Is that what the dictionary is saying? That we as women are inferior to men? Should we accept that reality?
How can we accept that reality? You know, these dictionaries were written by men. Yeah. They were written by humans, and that various disposition. The way I see submission is accepting to move in with someone and leaving your free will to be in the same confines or, you know, cohabit with someone. And you come in, you're guided by whatever faith. So I am a Muslim. And in Islam, we both aspire equally for the grace of God, for everything equally. But in marriage, for marriage to work, one person will be able to have final say or veto power kind of thing. But that doesn't mean that you silence. Yes. It is not. But people will come. Even in Islam, you will see people they will find Quranic verse and be saying no. If you read through the Quran, this is a feminist book as far as I'm concerned. The Prophet came and corrected every anomaly in society that was against women. You know, marriage, abandonment of women, provision, even while divorce is going on, maintenance. Those are Quranic verses provision. So if you tell me to submit, of course you will see a feminism wake up all corners of me. I can't understand it, and I'm not inferior. I'm equal to my husband. I willingly submit to him. I would understand my place and listen to him and respect him. It will show us respect, not
inferiority. So this dictionary obviously is faulty in its definition of
and
submission.
And people criticize dictionaries. So that's why I asked, which one is it? Since it's Oxford, we can go to Longman. We can go, in fact, we can ask modern dictionaries, and even the reviews of the dictionary of the present Oxford.
We have to wrap up. We run out of time because of our Christmas gift I want to give. We have to go on a quick break.